We are all connected. Globalization has had a huge impact on all of us. And today, we face new challenges. Epidemics and disease that defy borders. Problems that persist in search of solutions. Coming together, exchanging knowledge and experience is more important than ever. Because nobody can solve these problems alone. Through the World Innovation Summit for Health, we convene the world's greatest minds who guide us to the best ideas to meet these challenges. We learn from each other, share our experience, expertise, and innovation. We must come together as one community. Our well-being depends on it. Welcome to WISH 2016.
Your Highness, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, salam alaikum, and it's my privilege to welcome you to WISH 2016. Those of you who have been part of this unique community for the last 3 years will know already that it is a unique global force, challenging established thinking on health, looking for and talking about the ways that it could be delivered better to more people with improved outcomes. WISH has taken on some of the most pressing challenges of our time, from cancer to obesity to infectious diseases. Its ethos is all about evaluating the evidence, and its conclusions so far can be found in more than 1,000 pages of reports published by WISH. But its reach goes far beyond those pages and indeed right around the world. From briefing ministers on universal health coverage to helping journalists think about how they report mental health, to inspiring training programs for doctors and nurses on reducing patient harm. All of this and much more besides is part of WISH's continuing effort to create change. It's a special community because of its diversity. There are more than 1,400 of you here today, among them scores of government delegations. There are academic researchers and, of course, medical practitioners. But there are also entrepreneurs, engineers, software developers. The one link between all of them, their dedication to preserving the most precious of human commodities, good health. And for me personally, as the daughter, granddaughter, and great-granddaughter of doctors, it is a mission that means a great deal. I can promise you that once again, WISH will provide an enriching and a thought-provoking experience, and I hope that we can all make the most of the next 2 days. But to begin, it's my privilege to introduce the chairperson of Qatar Foundation. As the founder and chairperson of WISH, the vision began with her. So please welcome Her Highness Sheikha Moza bint Nasser.
السلام عليكم السيدات والسادة. مذ كانت فكرة تجسدت في انعقاده الأول عام 2013 عزمنا على استثمار خبرات WISH العالمية والإقليمية من خلال توظيف توصياته وأبحاثه في التطبيقات العملية في مجال الصحة، فضلاً عن الاستفادة من أدواته في الرصد والتقييم للوقوف على واقع تطور الصحة والخدمات الصحية في قطر. وكنا ندرك أن مبادئ الوعي الصحي المتقدم تستدعي رؤية متطورة لرعاية صحية تتجاوز الحاضر وتقيم في المستقبل في عملية استباقية للتحديات المنظورة والمحتملة. ولتجسيد هذه الرؤية على أرض الواقع شرعنا في الاشتغال على ثنائية التعليم والصحة التي تتلازم شرطياً مع البحث العلمي والابتكار والتنمية المستدامة، وفي الصميم منها التنمية البشرية، وهو ما كان عليه سابقاً، ونواصل التجديد على جوهريته في مقاربات الحلول. السيدات والسادة، لا شك أن كل بلد من البلدان يسعى لتطوير نظام الرعاية الصحية مع تفاوت درجة الفلاح من بلد إلى آخر، فلا يستمت بلد يتوافر على نظام رعاية صحية مثالي، حيث تعاني جميع دول العالم ونحن كذلك تحديات صحية مختلفة، ولعلها فرصة للمشاركين في المؤتمر أن يستفيدوا من تقارير وش في تطوير منظوماتهم الصحية والانخراط في منظومة وش للرصد والتقييم. ونحن في قطر نفخر بما أنجزناه في التصدي للتحديات الصحية، ونتوق إلى ما أبعد من الصحة، أي التأثير في المجتمع بمختلف قطاعات تنميته من خلال الصحة. في وش 2013 وضع منتدى الرعاية المسؤولة إطاراً عملياً قابلاً للتطبيق على نطاق واسع لكي تسترشد به الجهود الرامية إلى إصلاح المنظومة الصحية من خلال آليات تمويل صحي مصحوبة بقدر أكبر من مساءلة لتحقيق نتائج أفضل. وبالرعاية المسؤولة يمكننا التحول إلى نهج التركيز على المرضى في المقام الأول، واستخدام البيانات والمقاييس لدعم التقدم وتوثيقه، وإشراك مقدمي الرعاية في المسؤولية عن الجودة والتكلفة. وهذا ما يجري عمله عليه في قطر حالياً، بما يعكس قدرات وش من دعم البرامج الصحية على المستويات الوطنية. وبعد إطلاق قطر بايو بنك عام 2011 أعلنت في وش 2013 أيضاً عن مشروع جينوم قطر لدراسة العلاقة بين الجينات وأعراض الأمراض، ذلك بهدف تجاوز الأفكار التقليدية للرعاية السريرية نحو طب يدرك أن لكل شخص خصوصيته الجينية وبالتالي الصحية، وعليه ينبغي أن يركز التعاطي الطبي مع المريض على هذه الخصوصية من خلال معرفة الخريطة البيولوجية للإنسان، بما يشخص المحددات الدوائية المناسبة لكل مريض بذاته. وهذا ما بات يعرف بالpersonalized medicine أو الطب المشخصن كما أطلقت عليه. ولعل أهل الاختصاص من العلماء في مجامع اللغة العربية هم الأقدر على تعريب هذا المصطلح. وقد تم إطلاق المرحلة الأولى التجريبية من مشروع جينوم قطر في شهر سبتمبر من العام الماضي 2015 ضمن خطة وطنية شاملة جعلته بنوعه واحدة من أكثر المشاريع الوطنية طموحاً في المنطقة والعالم. وكان من نتائج هذه المرحلة التجريبية أن تحقق الانتهاء من تحليل التسلسل الجيني الكامل لأكثر من 3000 مواطن قطري، والبدء في رسم خريطة مرجعية للجينوم القطري تتيح التعرف على التفاوتات النوعية في الجينات المميزة للسكان المحليين، وخصوصاً تلك التي تحدد مختلف أمراض الجينية الوراثية. كما تم وضع مسودات للوائح والسياسات تنظم أبحاث علوم الجينوم وتطبيقات الطب المشخصن، وبتعاون وثيق بين برامج جينوم قطر وقطر بايو بنك من جهة ووزارة الصحة من جهة أخرى. وسوف تشكل هذه الوثائق مظلة وطنية وإطاراً عاماً لتنظيم جميع البحوث والأنشطة ذات الصلة، هذا فضلاً عن بناء شبكة كبيرة من الباحثين المتخصصين لتقاسم وتحليل الكم الهائل من بيانات مشروع جينوم قطر. السيدات والسادة، أن الهدف المستقبلي الأساسي لبرنامج جينوم قطر يتمثل بالإسهام في تطوير نظام صحي وطني يجمع ويحفظ بيانات جينوم المواطنين في سجلات الرعاية الصحية بجميع المستشفيات والعيادات الرئيسية في البلاد، وهو هدف تجري مناقشته واستعراضه تفصيلياً مع اقتراب نهاية المرحلة التجريبية، وبما يضمن حماية المعلومات الصحية للمريض من الاستخدام لأغراض غير صحية. في هذا السياق أود التأكيد على أهمية مراعاة البعد الأخلاقي والديني في التعاطي مع قضايا التقدم الهائل في مجال الطب وضرورة الانفتاح وتوسيع الآفاق في النظر إلى القضايا المتصلة بصحة الإنسان والعمل على تجديد اجتهاداتنا مع وجوب البحث في ثقافتنا وديننا على كل ما يدعم الاستفادة من منجزات العلوم الطبية. بكلمات أخرى، أن نحترم فكرنا الديني في الوقت الذي نحرص فيه على أن نكون جزءاً من الخريطة العالمية الصحية. ولمقاربة مثل هذه القضايا يشهد وش هذا العام تنظيم ندوة حول الجنون في منطقة الخليج العربي من منظور أخلاقي. السيدات والسادة، إنما نعمل عليه في كل ما أتيت على ذكره ينطلق من إيماننا بالإنسان باعتباره القيمة الأعلى في جوهر السياسات والابتكار، وهذه ما تقوم عليه رؤية قطر في التصدي لمختلف القضايا. أحيي جهودكم وأتمنى لكم التوفيق في أعمال مؤتمركم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you very much, Your Highness. So WISH is about a coming together of minds from different disciplines with different skills and approaches, but a common purpose. And that sense of purpose owes a great deal to Her Highness. And the Executive Director of WISH has been instrumental to her vision. He has a long record as an outstanding surgeon and an equally long record of public service. Here in Qatar, he's been honored by His Highness the Emir with the Qatari Sash of Independence, in recognition of his contribution to the Qatari health system. Please welcome Professor the Lord Darzi of Denham.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Your Highness, for that fantastic speech. You reminded us of the importance of genomics and research at the very limits of human knowledge. And you challenge us to think deeply about the ethics of our actions, because only through an ethical approach can we make the sort of progress our societies need. Your Highness, you are the driving force behind this summit. First, you had the vision to create WISE, the World Innovation Summit for Education. You then followed it with your wish to gather the world's top leaders in health care and health systems. Before I turn to this summit, I want to speak briefly about health and education in Qatar. Health and education are the foundations on which thriving societies are built. Qatar's far-sighted leadership has put both health and education at the center of Qatar's development strategy. The vision is to have the best health and education, not just in this region, but also in the world. Next to this conference center, Qatar's flagship health project, the ultra-modern, all-digital Sidra Medical and Research Center for Women and Children, has opened its doors to patients. It stands as an example to the world of a leading-edge healthcare delivery. Qatar is leading improvements to the quality of care of chronic disease too. The National Diabetes Strategy has resulted in the state-of-the-art diabetic screening program. The service was launched earlier this year at Al Waqra Primary Health Clinic. It was created by the inspired leadership of Her Excellency, Dr. Hanan Mohammed Al-Kawari, who's the head of the Qatar Hospital Group and the Hamad Medical Corporation, and also Dr. Mariam Malik, Managing Director of the Primary Healthcare Corporation. It is a great example of how leaders of primary and secondary care come together to improve services for patients. I want to take this opportunity, or take a moment to extend my congratulations to Her Excellency, Dr. Hanan, on her appointment as the Minister of Health. Her appointment reflects her abundant talents and many years of dedicated public service to improving the health of Qatar. And I know I speak for all of us when I say how delighted we all are at your appointment, Dr. Hanan. There is much to celebrate in education too. Close by is Education City, the flagship project of Qatar Foundation, which gathers together some of the world's greatest universities and institutions. Universities that are thousands of miles apart globally, are streets apart in Qatar. It is an enduring achievement for Qatar, for the region, and for the advancement of education in the world. I'm delighted that we're also joined by Qatar Foundation's new CEO, Her Excellency Sheikh Hind. Many congratulations on your appointment, Your Excellency, to this important role both nationally and globally. These are extraordinary developments in health and education and did not happen by accident. They were not destined to happen. They were achieved through the passion, energy, determination, and wisdom of Her Highness Sheikh Moza. It is through her leadership that WISH brings the world to Qatar and Qatar to the world. Your Highness, for me personally, it is a great privilege and honor to be asked to lead WISH on your behalf and on behalf of Qatar. All of us are honored, delighted, and humbled to be welcomed back to Qatar for this important and historic meeting. You have our heartfelt thanks. Your Highness, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WISH 2016. It's wonderful to return to Doha again to gather so many leaders from all around the world. This is the third WISH Summit and the largest yet. There are 1,400 participants with us today. You have come from more than 100 countries. You are the leaders of health reform, and you recognize the need for innovation has never been greater. That's why you are here at WISH. WISH is a unique platform that brings together ministers, industry leaders, policymakers, academics to share our ideas, celebrate our successes, and confront the common difficulties we face. Out of a global conference, we have created a global community. 21 months have passed since we last gathered together, but the work never stopped. The world kept on changing. Our global health challenges have increased and not diminished. Global challenges demand a global response. The most obvious global challenges come from infectious disease. Since we last met, the rise of Zika, Ebola, and MERS has increased. And just as diseases cross borders, so does antimicrobial resistant superbugs. The growth of antimicrobial resistance poses possibly the greatest threat to the future of medicine, rendering common infections deadly and routine surgery impossible. In September, an historic accord was achieved when all 193 countries that are members of the UN signed a resolution to act against the misuse of antibiotics. Professor Dame Sally Davis, the UK's Chief Medical Officer and one of the leading champions of global action, will be speaking about what needs to happen now. Behavior is infectious too. That's why we need a much sharper focus on population health. It is why we need to prevent illnesses like cardiovascular disease, not just to deal with the consequences. It is why we must take advantage of new advances in behavioral insight to change lifestyles. And it is why we need to make sure that accountable care really happens. Our forum papers explain why and how the whole team must pull together. And the team needs to go beyond the health system. And let me tell you why. Starbucks spends more on health insurance for its employees than it does on coffee. Just think about that for a moment. Employers are crucial members of the health team that can help their employees to lead healthier lives. After all, changing behavior is a hard thing to do. But behaviors can't always change with a nudge. In a decade, we've seen an extraordinary growth in the numbers of children diagnosed with autistic spectrum disorder. Qatar has been a global leader on autism. Your Highness, I know I speak for the families around the world when I thank you for creating the World Autism Awareness Day through the United Nations in 2007. World Autism Day has made millions of difficult conversations about what autism is and what it isn't much easier. Qatar has led in this region with the Qatar Autism Strategy and the establishment of the renowned Academy for Children with Autism. Our report shows 1 in every 68 children globally is affected. It highlights the vital importance of providing family support systems as well as early intervention to improve care. There is so much that we are doing today that we could be doing better tomorrow. As we turn to the future, we find a world full of promises of scientific research to cure disease and to soothe suffering. It is a future boundless possibilities with advanced human knowledge. Precision medicine has the potential to utterly transform modern healthcare. It targets treatments based on our unique genetic profiles. It is precisely because it is so personal that it has an enormous ethical implications. Our forum report shows how we must act responsibly when pushing the limits of science so that we never lose sight what is the right in the face of what is possible. Now, sometimes it feels like we work at the limits of budgets too. That is why we've got to be making the case for investing in health. Larry Summers is one of the world's top economists and a former president of Harvard University, who served in both the Obama and the Clinton administration. Secretary Summers will be giving a keynote address on investing in health. Our forum report shows how investing in health can save lives and boost personal and national incomes. Please get that message to your finance ministers. Now, we have invested in an amazing research. It has been produced by our policy forums. They have been chaired by internationally renowned experts, and they have worked tirelessly to produce the highest quality work. At our previous summits, not only you will get access to the finest ideas and proposals, we are also will bring to you the exciting innovations. The innovation showcases featuring the work of some of the best young minds in design, The delivery and financing of healthcare offer a glimpse of the creativity and imagination that WISH has harnessed. The innovators are the people who inspire. They inspire us because they are passionate about impact. And so are we. For the first time, we will report on WISH's ongoing impact locally in Qatar, regionally and globally on issues highlighted at our previous summits, including diabetes and patient safety. That impact has been achieved thanks to our hardworking CEO, Mr. Egbert Schillings, who's really been around the world, really driving so many of these changes with our partners. Because at WISH, it's real change that matters. That's what WISH is all about. Here today, we have a global network of health reformers with shared ambition to make our health systems more responsive, better quality, and better value for money. Over the next 48 hours, you will expect a lot from us, and we from you. I hope that you will take an inspiration from one another. I hope that we leave here strengthened as a global community of innovators. And I hope that we leave as friends as well as colleagues. But above all, I hope we are more determined than ever before to meet the challenges we face. People around the world would expect nothing else. We should expect nothing else from one another. On that note, have a wonderful 2 days, and thank you for the opportunity to address you.
Thank you, Lord Darzi. So once again, WISH has taken the opportunity to take an important look at a broad range of topics, and those reports are being distributed already here at the QNCC. This time, there is a special focus on genomics and Islamic ethics, and of course, there is the ongoing focus that's been part of the very essence of WISH from the start, of finding and sharing the very best health innovations from anywhere in the world. The global nature of these challenges means, of course, that this needs to be a much bigger conversation. It happens all year round, of course, but it also needs to go far beyond the QNCC in the next 2 days. So please do share what you hear here, what you learn here on social media, and the hashtag to use is WISH2016. So we hope that way we can share the findings and also get contributions to the debate from right around the world. And now, here's a reminder of the global imperative that's brought us all together.
All countries want to meet the health and medical needs of their populations while preserving resources that serve other important human needs and purposes, such as education. Good health has an inherent value beyond traditional measures of success. It is one of the fundamental rights of every human being. But there's not just a humanitarian argument to be made here. The evidence is also clear on the economic benefits of investing in health. That is why, even in the face of financial crises, our commitment to achieving a grand convergence must not flag. We have both the technological and the economic means to reduce infectious disease and maternal and child mortality to universally low levels across the world. At the same time, pressures on health systems are mounting. As populations age and the burden of chronic diseases increases, too many systems remain rigid, input-oriented, and fragmented in their delivery of care. So what are the principles that should guide health systems in how they pay for and deliver services? Instead of paying by activity within silos of care, policies and payments should be aligned with outcomes, with the patient at the center, all sharing accountability for the outcome of care. Clinical care itself is being revolutionized by new insights derived from sequencing the human genome. So is our understanding of its complex interaction with the environment and lifestyles. Precision medicine has the potential to change everything about the way we diagnose, treat, and prevent disease. It is the next frontier of healthcare delivery. The pace of innovation poses many challenges, not just to regulators, payers, and providers. It also tests our moral compass. Genetic information without any clinical relevance may still be socially and culturally important. What should be communicated to patients and families about the messages we carry in our DNA? Who decides, and based on what principles? Science and ethics have always been inextricably linked. We must reflect on the rich plurality of ethical, legal, and cultural traditions as we chart a course into the previously unknown territory of our common humanity. As with all innovations, we must consider the context and the ultimate goal of all healthcare policy: healthy populations. Because in reality, the healthcare system alone cannot create health. Employers, educators, city planners, and many other stakeholders need to embrace the goal of improving population health. We have to address social determinants of health, and it requires an unstinting focus on the factors that matter most to the production of population health. Autism is one of the challenges that cannot be addressed by the healthcare sector alone. And while great strides have been made in public awareness, there are massive gaps in our understanding of its causes, as well as its true prevalence globally. But we do know what policymakers can do to improve support for children with ASD, their families, and communities. The burden of cardiovascular disease is shared by virtually all communities around the globe. While age-specific mortality from heart attack and stroke has declined, there is no room for complacency. The number of cardiovascular deaths continues to rise, most quickly in the developing world. Up to 25% of premature deaths from cardiovascular disease could be avoided with more effective strategies in secondary and primary prevention. But what constitutes an effective strategy? What does it mean for policymakers that half the global burden of disease arises from behavioral and lifestyle factors? Could it be that the models and assumptions that inform healthcare policy fail to explain what really makes us tick? Rational, cost-benefit analysis is less important in our daily decision-making than we would like to think. Much of what we do is in fact habitual, automatic, and driven by social context. As we design health systems and the policies that govern them, doing the right thing for health should be the default option, the easy thing to do for patients, caregivers, and everyone else involved in the creation of health. You are the leaders who will close the gap between what we know and what we do for the health of populations everywhere. You are the WISH community. Together we can make a difference. Thank you for joining us.
And there are individual sessions here at WISH devoted to all of those topics, and that's where you'll be able to hear from those who've contributed to the reports and thought leaders in each of the relevant fields. And of course, you'll be able to contribute yourself. On that note, if you haven't done so already, please download the WISH app. Just search for WISH 2016 in the App Store of your device, and you can use the app to connect with everyone here and also to get questions through to the moderators and the speakers of the sessions.